Now then, here we go. Time for another episode of my McLaren Return to Glory. The last one, we revealed the B-Spec car, which you guys have now seen. If you haven't seen it, link in the top right. Spoiler warning, you can kind of see the car in the background, but can't quite see it. So if you haven't fully seen it, this is your chance to go watch and see the reveal. Also, our home race at Silverstone last time out using that car. So check out the last episode, guys. A lot went down. For this one, we have our contract renewal, which hopefully will go smoothly. Now guys, if you're going to enjoy today's episode, leave a like on the video, subscribe for more. I'm trying to smash over 1,000 likes on this video, so if you want to help me get there, I would massively appreciate it. And yeah, let's get into this contract renegotiation. So hopefully we're gonna play it safe and McLaren play ball, and we're gonna go for a medium risk contract, which is what we always go for, and we've usually had no trouble with, and we're gonna have no trouble this time as McLaren agreed to sign a deal. So that's done out of the way. Now the one thing I didn't realize is the amount of cash that I actually got from this. So we can actually afford 2 perks. I thought it was 1, but actually we can get 2 of them. So I'm going to go for another level on, I believe, development feedback for more R&D points, and I'm also going to go for an extra level of power mapping to save engine wear and basically just increase our reliability even more. So yeah, we spend our money, and that's going to help us out quite a bit, especially the R&D points, which is going to be very helpful. Now we're going to go ahead and spend the points that we have on the master cylinder for the brakes on the chassis. It's an ultimate upgrade with a pretty big discount, so that will arrive before Monza, which is quite fitting because Monza, a track with big braking zones, that might help us out quite a lot. So yeah, ultimate upgrade still on the way. We've got another one on the way, I believe, for the next race, if I'm not mistaken. So upgrades constantly on the way. Now I wasn't given a weather forecast this weekend, however you can see rain for qualifying and a lot of rain for the race. So it seems like mixed conditions on Saturday and just a fully wet race by the looks of it. So we'll see how that goes. We are back at France, by the way. Paul Ricard, the French Grand Prix, which should be interesting as well. First time driving it on this game. As you can see, development chart, no big changes really besides Aston Martin. As for the championship, this race is key. I've been saying it now for a few races and we keep making mistakes and bottling it. This race has to be the one we either get a win or it's like a 2-3 finish on the podium, but we have to start getting results if we want to fight for the championship. And by championship, I mean the constructors. I've won the drivers already. If I win it again, so be it, but I want that constructors title, and I'll do everything I can to win it this year and help me and Lando get that goal. Now, we jump into practice, and we are quickest so far on track. I will admit, the car feels fantastic. It felt really good in Silverstone last race to drive, and this new B-Spec car feels even better here at France. It seems to really suit our car. Tyre wear is better than the last race. Fuel consumption is about the same, so we'll factor that in for the race. For practice, we got a pretty healthy sum of R&D points, and we'll hopefully add some more to that with the next race weekend coming up in a back-to-back. We also get a bunch of discounts, and some of them going towards the front downforce, which is quite productive because that will be the next upgrade we go for, and that will be pretty much the last performance upgrade we can buy for the car, barring, I believe, 1 fuel efficiency upgrade. So we're pretty much going to max out the car in the next few races, which is really exciting. So I'm looking forward to seeing how far we can really take this McLaren car as we jump into qualifying. So sunny skies, beautiful conditions for Q1, and we're setting our first proper lap in anger with this one. Now, Sector 1 was actually on the mini-map purple, not on the timing split, so I don't know if that's legit or not, so we're going to find out now as we make our way up to the line. What sort of pace we're looking at? Hulkenberg currently P10 with a 27.7, and we go P1 with a 26.1, so a strong marker. And actually, when I go back to the pit lane, Checo set a decent lap, but overall, we're looking pretty decent. Lando's P10, 4/10 off, so I seem to have also myself just some very good pace here. This track seems to suit me, and I seem to be fast here. So we breeze through Q1 easily. Piastri set a 25.8, eventually going quickest of all on his final run. But a very positive first sign in qualifying. So we're going to see if that does indeed reoccur in Q2 as we put on another set of tyres, and we're going to try again to hopefully, get through. We did a 26.1 in Q1. Piastri quickest with a 25.8. Verstappen now 25.9 quickest at the start of Q2, and that lap time is legit. So as we make our way through the final couple of corners, we're going to see exactly what our first banker in Q2 can be, and can we make it on one lap, one run, and save tyres for Q3 up to the line. And it's a 25.8. So we're there. The pace is legit. We are right there this weekend, guys, and we could actually fight for pole in this one. Lando's actually now gone quickest of all with a 25.7, so he's actually got his act together in Q2, and we're looking insane. Really good. The car is working well. Lando quickest in Q2, we finish in P4, and suddenly we're looking at potentially both cars fighting for pole in Q3. So this weekend looks good. The car feels good, and it suits also our car and my driving style. So that's very exciting. Now for Q3, we still haven't had that rain. You can see in the monitor, it's apparently cloudy now, but it says sunny in 5 minutes or 0 minutes, which is always a bit of a telltale sign something's not quite right because it's a bit inconsistent. So I go to the track literally straight away with all the other cars, all the other traffic. We're going to be one of the first cars out behind Alonso, and we're going to get a quick weather check on the radio just to be sure here.
We're expecting the rain to hit us any time now. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
And literally the rain within a lap arrived. A lap. It was so quick, from sunny to dark skies to clouds to then rain. And suddenly this lap is everything, but we make a mistake at the crucial point at the very end of the lap. I don't know how I done that. I just made such a rash error, and I'm trying to now save the battery to get a bit of it back on side to go for another lap. I'm going to try and squeeze another lap out. Also, my fuel is very marginal here, so my idea for this one is to pretty much run out of fuel as we cross the line, but hopefully we'll have enough momentum to not lose time. We do a 25.8 whilst backing off in the last sector, so we was on for a mental lap, like a 25.5 or 4. It would have been insane. Either way, Lando set a 25.4 himself, so that's the sort of pace we're looking at, and now we're going to have to push on, and it's now properly starting to rain on this lap. You can see we're actually going quicker, but very quickly the lap time is starting to slip away. The rain is coming down quick. It's very fast and effective rain, and we are bleeding lap time every single second. You can see now at the exact point we lost the car last time with the invalidation, we're now a second down, and we spin the car, and it's done. It's over. Qualifying's finished for us. The rain is too heavy, and it's over. Just like that. So quick. So quick. We got out early. I got a space on track, and it was my mistake. I messed it up. I was on a really good lap. I don't know if I would have done a 25.0, by the way. That lap from Verstappen was absolutely stupid how fast that lap was, but we could have got P2 for sure. We'll never know. Ultimately we'll never know. I backed off. I used some none. I wasn't really pushing in the last 2-3 corners, but a 25.0 is ridiculous from Verstappen. That was an incredible lap time from him, but it could have been a 2-3 without a doubt, and we messed it up. So we bottled it, and we're going to have to fight back in the race. Luckily, it's not the worst thing in the world. We're P10. We're not a million miles away. Also, it's raining, so those conditions usually 9 times out of 10 tend to suit our pace and car.
Welcome along then to France, one of the great racing meccas, host of the world-famous Tour de France, and widely thought of as giving birth to the art of motor racing in the late 1800s. How far we've come since then, as this year's race gets underway. It's time, of course, for the French Grand Prix. We have 15 corners here at the Circuit Paul Ricard, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, but the rain is coming down and making for a slippery racing surface. Luckily, there is plenty of runoff area available, and hopefully we'll be able to avoid bringing out a safety car during today's Grand Prix. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Perez, Leclerc, Russell, Drugovich, Martinez, Gasly, Albon, Ocon, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Oscar Piastri, Sargent, Mick Schumacher, Hülkenberg, Joe, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Joining me on this very wet day is a woman who very much came prepared. Nice wellies there, Nats. Natalie Pinkham, how would you say the wet weather experience differs between Formula One and perhaps some other forms of racing?
Mastering these conditions is a massive challenge. To cross the line in one piece is no mean feat, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they handle it.
It's funny how the world works, you know, you put something out into the universe and it delivers straight away. In the last episode, I literally said, we haven't had a wet race yet, at all. Literally a full wet race. And wouldn't you believe it, we've got a completely soaking wet French Grand Prix. So full wet tyres are going to be the order of the day, possibly intermediates. We'll see if conditions do change at all. It was 90% rain for the entire race by the prediction. So I don't think we're going to get off the blue wall tyre. But let's talk about strategy. So we're starting P9. We've gained a place from a grid drop. I think the pace should be good. I'm usually pretty quick in the wet in this game, and we're quick around here anyway this weekend. So the key thing is fuel. What do I want to go for? I'm not going to risk. I'm going to go for 27 laps on the nose, which is exactly what we have here. We don't have any data from wet weather running, so I'm not sure what to go for. The other thing is setup. So I'm going to put a touch more front wing on, see how that goes. And I'm also going to adjust my differential. Also, we're going to go to the brakes, move those to the front a bit to avoid relocking. And then crucially, tyre pressures. I'm going to put a bit of pressure into them and see if that helps us in the wet. So that should do the trick. Yeah, guys, let's get to it. We can win this race. I know we can. It's a fully wet race. I'm usually pretty good here. We need to win this for the championship. There's no other excuse. We have to win this race. Right then, visibility is shocking. Let's quickly get a check on the weather.
The radar suggests that this heavy rain will be with us for a while now. Full wet seem like the best tyre for now.
Right, so it's a complete washout. So we'll see. Like always, we'll evaluate the possibility of the no stop if tyre wear allows it. So we'll see how that goes. Right then, let's get to it. French Grand Prix. 27 laps. And a hell of a lot of rain. It's not a good start, but luckily some others also struggle. Leclerc has a poor launch. Visibility is not particularly great. I've got no idea where to brake in these conditions. We're going to have to readapt as we go around the outside of Dragovic. We're going to get the run on Leclerc as we try to go to the outside, but no way through. We'll switch lines and go the other way into the little technical section here as we go up the inside and get Leclerc. Russell, Perez, we're going to try and cut underneath. Get the power down. And we get Russell. We just tapped Checo there. Had to get right out of it, so we lost momentum. Let's see what the straight line speed looks like as we head onto the back straight. Keeping the battery on. Russell has got the legs. Big front lock up, but we managed to go around the outside and hold on. Crucial move. Let's try and get Checo if we can. Get into that top 5 nice and early. Lando's P2, so he's not had a bad start, but he hasn't been able to get P1, so Verstappen leads the way, and we've got to try and do something about that. The pace in Silverstone was very strong from both Red Bulls and Mercs, along with Lando. That seems to be the new top 3 after the summer break, so let's see if we can get in the mix today. I feel like this could be our race. Like I said, we're always pretty decent in the wet conditions, and we've got an even better car, and we're also fast around here this weekend. You can see we're putting pressure on Checo. Big time. Bit of a drift, bit of oversteer, but we go through and move into P5. Excellent pass. And we've got a couple of Ferraris to deal with as Verstappen starts to build a gap already to our teammate Lando. A little bit concerned about fuel early on, looking at the way we're kind of dropping, but we'll see how that progresses. So Lando and Alonso going at it right now, side by side. Alonso's been on it this weekend. A lot better weekend from him. He's been a lot stronger. Definitely showing a bit better form. Ferrari generally have also seemed to have taken a step forward this weekend. And yeah, Alonso gets into P2. So Verstappen is breaking away. Oh, what an exit. Look at the traction. Look at the traction. Oh boy. Sainz now fights back. gets me under braking to turn 1 there. But we may get another chance. Our exit speed and traction is really good in these conditions. I must have a pretty good setup on for just overall cornering and exit. As Signs locks up and hits us in the side. I'll have to check for damage. I think we're okay, but I wonder if Signs got wing damage.
Okay, heavy rain will be staying with us for a while now, at least a 20-minute window of heavy rain. Okay, full wet seems to be the fastest tyre for now. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good.
Okay, so no, the rain stays the same and no damage. Okay, we can crack on then. I think Signs may have got away with it, we'll find out in Sector 3. But let's push after Lando then, he's next. Oh boy, Lando getting all crossed up there. We've definitely got a bit more downforce and wing on our car compared to the AI. I think they've gone a bit lower. Always helps having more wing in wet conditions. You're going to be way quicker. Signs, I think, does have damage. He's dropping back now quite a bit. So, yeah, Signs getting some damage from that incident, especially when you compare his pace to Alonso, who has been the slower of the 2 drivers this season.
These conditions don't look like they're shifting. We're predicting at least 20 minutes of heavy rainfall.
There we go, confirmation. Rain going nowhere. We may actually get Lando here, to be fair. Just so much stronger in the corners. Then in the straights, we do kind of get left behind.
The tyre situation's an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got for now.
Trying to put pressure on Lando. Steering very clear of the apex. I do not want to give Lando any sort of damage or cause him any major time loss or trouble. But now we can race after Alonso. Verstappen's quick. Verstappen's similar pace to me, so we'll find out if we have what it takes to get him, but Alonso definitely, we are quicker than him, so let's get after him. Verstappen's not that quick. We are absolutely flying. These conditions just suit our car beautifully. I've got the pace. I'm flying right now. Alonso's actually pretty quick. He's a bit quicker than Verstappen, to be fair. Not quite quick enough for us to get a run here on the straight, but we'll set up the chicane so we can get the exit. Alonso runs it in a bit wide, so we will get the cut back. Can we get the drive and the exit here? Yes, we can. Look at the traction. Getting the drive there as we pull alongside Fernando. We're going to get the inside line into Senior. Bit of a downshift, but we go through. And that is now P2, baby. We're flying. Absolutely flying. Now we're in clean air. We're getting no battling or traffic. The pace is really good. The fuel is also fine. I'm glad to report that we're going to have no fuel trouble this race. We're actually saving a bit of fuel whilst driving at this pace, so we can drive flat out and have no fuel concerns. But yeah, we're visibly catching Mac. You can see him getting completely loose through the penultimate corner, and we are going to set a new personal best. Make that a new fastest lap as we move the goalposts. This is it. Let's try and now sink our teeth into Verstappen, who won the last race and has been in a pretty good form. This is important for the championship. We've got to try and get this one. This could be a similar move to the Alonso one, to be fair. Oh, what an entry into the chicane. Beautiful. Get the cut back. And now set up the exit. Straighten the car up nice and early. And through we go. Side by side with Verstappen as we make our way into Senior. I'll try not to skate off so wide this time, so we'll stand the inside of Verstappen. Actually holds on around the outside, so a little bit too generous maybe. Up the inside we go though, through the triple rights. You can just see the downforce difference. We've got more wing, so we're just able to make that move. That's why we're so strong in Sector 3 in the dry conditions. All the corners are here and we are flying. P1, and we can also hopefully get the extra point for the fast lap this race. So 20 laps remain and we are now P1. So what a recovery. 9th to 1st in 7 laps, and not just that, fuel is not a concern, and also tyre wise we are going to have to stop. I don't think we're going to make it, so there will be a stop at some point. So we just got to manage the race now. Hopefully a nice boring race with no safety cars or nothing, just to get us to the end. That is exactly what I would like now. Hopefully Lando can get back onto the podium. I'd love that. We need that. Lando under pressure from Perez now. Sainz has dropped back quite a way. I'm a little bit worried that Lando's going to finish P5 this race, which isn't exactly ideal. We are flying, by the way. Now that I've been released into clean air, the car is so quick. We've got so much pace. This is our win now. It's locked up unless something goes horribly wrong. I'm loving the car. Feels brilliant to drive. It felt great in the dry. We had pace in the dry, but now in the wet we're even quicker. I feel like Lando isn't, or shouldn't be that slow. I wonder if he's got damage. It just seems really slow. It wasn't that slow.
Okay, we're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
Right, we're going to extend. We're going to go long, which is going to potentially ruin Lando's race, because even if I don't pit now, I don't have the intelligence to pit now instead. So normally if I stay out, Lando should pit this lap, so to keep track position, but I know he's going to stay out, so we're going to be pitting lap 15. I might even go a bit longer. Basically I want fresher tyres to the end so I can go for the fastest lap and get the extra point. No questions asked. Lando's holding up such a train of cars. I really wonder if he's got damage from the first lap of Verstappen and just hasn't had the pace, because Alonso's never faster than Norris. It just doesn't happen. Alonso hasn't been that quick all season. We'll see. Either way, it's only Verstappen pitting for now. Most cars are actually staying out, surprisingly. Oh, first warning there, just a bit too much inside curb. Right, Lando pits, there we go.
Lando's in the pits. Lando in the pits.
So we will box now at the end of this lap. Okay, so it's all changed. Leclerc's P5 now, Sainz to P3. Not sure if he fixes damage or not, but Lando got jumped by Checo, so Lando's up P7 now, P8. It really isn't going well, so even more important for us to win this race, to keep some points on the board for the team. The good news is Mercedes aren't doing super well, so we'll gain some points on them. So Verstappen fastest lap, 43.0, which is a couple of seconds quicker than me, so we're going to box to cover him off. Should be fine, even if he were to undercut me. I think I've got the pace to get him back anyways, but I'd rather not run the risk, so we'll just box and play it safe. It's a 60 kph pit entry, so got to be mindful of that. So easy does it as we enter the pits. Nice and slow, no need to risk. Right, great race so far, very happy. I'm a bit annoyed about Lando, you know, starting P2 and he's just falling through the field. A bit like Silverstone when he started on pole and finished, you know, way back, just not ideal. One of his focus is dropping, which does, you know, set off alarm bells. Yellow flag on the back straight, so Williams again, but it seems to be a spin, not a DNF, I think, so green flag, back to normal. Right, Verstappen out the front corner. It's going to be close actually, really close.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
Verstappen with the undercut. It's going to be right there, but we just rejoin ahead. So Verstappen gained those 9 seconds back or so, but now we're on a fresh tyre and we can get back on it. So target now is to get that fastest lap of the race. They're locked up. We've given ourselves a couple of laps cushion, so if we've got some better tyres, we get another warning. So we're on 2 now, so I've got to be careful. Although to be fair, if we get a warning, I think we get a penalty, I think I can easily stretch out 3 seconds around here, I'm not going to lie, so I'm not going to worry too much about that.
The energy stores depleting, reducing our overall capacity. The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop.
Yep, we are struggling a little bit with engine wear as Verstappen challenges to the outside. We're going to hold the inside though on the brakes into the chicane. We'll try and get a good exit here and then we can shake him off in the last sector. There we go. Okay, we're about to move the goalposts with this lap. Verstappen did a 43.0.
The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1 minute 42.7. We don't have the data for that, I'm afraid.
So that's the benchmark and we're about to smash it. What's it going to be? 41.3, there we go. Fresh tyres making a massive difference. Tyre wear is a real big factor here actually in the wet conditions, because now the AR starting to struggle, whereas we still have fresh tyres. So that should do the job for us. There is a massive scrap for P3 by the way. Sainz is holding up a train. It's a shame that AI just unable to overtake. They're incapable of doing it without DRS. Oh, Williams out this time. Sargent. Oh
Right,
boy.
drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
Virtual safety car for now. Will it change? I guess we're about to find out. Also, worth noting, Leclerc's actually quite slow. The Ferraris have pulled away, so I wonder if Leclerc's now got damage in combat. Either way, little breather with the VSC.
virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until we get the green flags. VSC ending, wait for the greens.
And there we go. Gave up a second, but it's no big deal. Back underway then. Oh, another one bites the dust. Ricardo for the second race in a row retires.
Okay,
Oh.
slow down, slow down. Your delta's negative, which means you're going too fast. Reduce your pace.
Another one. Not sure that's for Ricardo or not, but there he is. Also, Alonso's overtaken Sainz, so we'll see if that changes things now.
Okay, VSC ending. We're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
Almost sped there, but just got away with it. Right, hopefully now we just bring this one home and lock up the win. Lando's made a mistake. Oh, he's retired. Yellow flag. I can just see it now. Made a mistake. What a shocking performance from Lando, man. What is going on? We can't be having that. Not now. Here we go then. Last lap of the race. And it's a well-deserved win for us. A wet weather masterclass. It's going to be 25 plus 1 with the fastest lap of the race. Verstappen P2 and Perez P5. So we're not actually going to outscore Red Bull because Lando's P10. So he's only going to add a point. So it's 27 for us. We'll outscore Mercedes, but we're not going to put a dent into Red Bull, which is really annoying. So yeah, a weak at massage potential. A bit like Silverstone. But, you know, like Norris on pole, started P2 today. He seems to have great one-lap pace, but his race pace ain't there. And that is a problem. We're going to need Lando to chip in if we're going to turn this around. Either way, finally, our first with the B-Spec car, our second win after Monaco, and that is a relief.
Ah, fantastic drive. That's just fantastic. Amazing. You deserved that race win. Well done, mate.
McLaren have pulled it off. They've won in spectacular fashion here today. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Now, I'm not sure how keen I am on wet weather, but it is thrilling in terms of the race. The fans seem to enjoy it at least. It can be an absolute nightmare for the drivers, though.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
Right then, job done for the French Grand Prix and a very comprehensive win. The car was magnificent. It was quick in the dry, even quicker in the wet, and that is a well-deserved win and a real nice shot of momentum, you know, a shot in the arm for the final races. So overall, a flawless weekend. I'm just gutted about Lando. I'm really gutted. I'm annoyed as well because how can it go so wrong? 2 races in a row from pole and P2 to, you know, P5 and P10. Oh, it's annoying. Anyway, let's look at the standings because there's a lot to break down. The top 5 teams are all there in the mix. So McLaren, Aston Martin, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, all in the top 10. It's, you know, pretty clear cut. Drivers' Championship, we are up to 5th. We extend our lead over Lando. There's quite a gap now. And Verstappen leads the way. He's also got a pretty healthy margin over Leclerc. We are only 10 points behind P3 in the form of George Russell. So that's going to be our first target. And then we'll race after Leclerc and then after Verstappen if we can make it happen. In the Constructors, P3, this is what it's all about. So the gap is 95 points. It hasn't changed, literally. We need Lando to deliver. Simple as that. There's nothing more to add. So, guys, we'll keep fighting. We'll keep chipping away. Hopefully, the next race is better. We've got to try and get some wins. We need a couple of 1-2 finishes. It just has to happen. Like the video, guys. Subscribe for more daily F1 content. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes and help me reach the 100k mark on the channel. As always, a big plug and shout out to the members of the channel for supporting. And finally, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. Guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and let's goodbye from me.